Hi, it's Tyrone here. Welcome to another weekly market analysis. It's the 2nd of December, not far from Christmas. Time is 5:04 PM in the UK here, so it's 17:04 before the markets open. And just want to quickly mention, I did have a comment regarding, I might jump about a bit because I don't use indicators per se, but I put indicators on here. What I'm trying to show is stuff that I've done that you can use mechanical systems like this. This is the way to use, in my opinion, divergence, or when I was showing how to build a strategy, I was just using an example of moving averages, because if you use them correctly, they're going to keep you on the right side of the market. The reason I don't rely on them, and I tend to lean on clean charts, is because I'm looking more at the structure of price. And that's simply it. It's just price action trading, and that is the only reason why I sometimes show different methodologies around the same principle, keeping you on the right side of the market. So some people like to be more mechanical or experiment with that, so I show you that, and I bounce a little bit just to give you an insight if you can use this. It's just, it all works in the same kind of way. The thing that people don't get is the losses. You have to understand you're going to have losses. The only three things you can control in trading is where you place your entry, or when you enter the trade, where you place your stop, and when you exit that trade, whether you use a target or you just close it manually. You cannot change or cannot control the direction of the market. The market either goes your way or it doesn't. There is a fourth thing that I apply to that. Everyone looks at those three rules. The fourth one to me is reward to risk. When you've got those three in place, you know what your reward to risk is. Yeah, and if you don't know what it is, because maybe you're just a trend follower looking at a breakout, then you have a system that's going to continue following that trend and give you a much higher reward to risk ratio. So that's the only really four things you can control, and I'm trying to find and show strategies around predicting reward to risk and profit targets, entries, exits, and how to keep taking those losses, but when you have a winner, slowly your account should increase. And it is slowly. It's not just done in a year or two, it's over many years. This has got to be something that is robust. It works on the long run. It doesn't have to work for 3 or 4 years fantastic, and then you have 6 years of shit where you just give it all back and more. And I have tested mechanical strategies, very good trend following strategies. They are absolutely amazing when their markets are trending, and the years when they're not, you give it back plus some. So it's kind of, and you don't know if you're following a strategy, a mechanical strategy, you've got to take every trade. So I just wanted to touch on that. Right, let's get into the markets. Aussie CAD. This was a level here. If I drop this monthly down to the daily, we can look at these levels a little bit more. Like I said, remember what I'm looking for is the big strong candle close below for a set and forget. Kind of like this one. This is a set and forget level above here. You see this candle, and let me enlarge. It started before the pivot point here. This is the pivot low, and this is another pivot point. It started before, strong move down. Ideally from top to bottom is the best level. So if you've got one big candle down, fantastic, but this is more of a kind of set and forget area. This was more confirmation, but because it isn't the whole strong candle and we've got quite a big monthly level, I've got my set and forget at the extreme, because you can always take a higher time frame level at the extreme as long as you've got the reward to risk. But this level right here, we've been here a while, is probably a nice area that market could turn. So what I'm going to do, lean on a little bit on the confirmation side, and watch my 60-minute, 240-minute time frame. So if I drop down a time frame, again step by step, we've got a, in fact I will enlarge that, on the 240 we've got a level here, but the last, let's say 20-30 candles here are very nice respecting levels. Nothing has closed below any pivot point or even taken it out, and right to here, even this didn't. So we're now kind of ranging. If we start to create a supply level on the 240, and it's a trend following, you just take the first pull back into it. if it's outside of that 8 p.m. Sorry, 8 a.m. or so 1600 p.m. here, it's basically 4 p.m. in the afternoon in the UK. So I'm looking at 8 a.m., a 12 a.m. and a 1600 candle that is created, bang, then I can probably let price bounce around and still take that level. Okay, so that's what I would have a set and forget. A confirmation, it's like a set and forget the first pullback, and after that you need confirmation again. You need to wait for price to give you another level. But if you've got it around those times with a strong impulse and it's a nice level, like this candle here, this is a good example. Going the wrong way, but this is outside the time. This is a 1900 candle. But imagine on the way up, if we pulled straight into that, you'd have a nice set and forget easily. Any trend following, you have a set and forget. But if that was an 8 o'clock or 1600 to 1600 candle and it done this, I would take it if I was going long, if I was in a higher time frame area. But the 60, look, you see how all the way back here, or this most recent action, it's just, closing below this pivot. It's bouncing about. We haven't really closed above a pivot. That's a good sign that price may be rolling over, but it's so scrappy here. Here we closed below a pivot, but we took this pivot high out, you see. So 240 is what I'm waiting for a confirmation. So I'm going to watch that very carefully. Let's go back to that daily, and I just want to come back to this monthly. Yeah, just to see that we are into, so it's a level on top of a level. Just make sure we've got the right level there, because it looks like this is the level here, but this is actually the level. I'm going to highlight that. This is the one that I like right here. It's almost like a set and forget confirmation. And I'm going to bring this up now just to show you it's this level right here. So I'm watching this very carefully on the 240 minute now to see if it gives me a nice drop, and then I'll put a set and forget. Aussie Swiss, another level here on the daily. Now this one, you see we've got one and then the strong close. So we've actually had a bit of a reaction from this area, but I'm waiting for price to come up a bit higher. I had an order, I think, set and forget, because that was a confirmation. Bang, it's already dropping out the monthly area. And we've now, if you look on the way up, probably from this point onwards, it was quite nice until this. But now we've got, it's kind of dropped, it's gone up, it's kind of based here now. And really, this isn't too bad, because we've not created any pivot point. So this is actually a level that might work. So because, let's examine this carefully. Each of these candles here, if I create a pivot point on the candle, I can't trade it, but I can. Just because I've got pivot points below, I can still short this. So when the market opens, I'm probably going to wait till the spread settles down and put a little order in here. It's about 25. It's very close to this area, but I'm just going to do about 45 pip risk. I could put my stop order out here being 100 pips, but my reward to risk is going to be wrong. So I'm going to use this as a set and forget, because it's a valid pullback, and this will be a confirmation, and the set and forget is at the extreme as well. So I just wanted to explain that Aussie Swiss, just watching that. And you can see it's a monthly level. We've got a weekly level down here, so if we do drop, I'd take a target up here. If it continues, still valid. Aussie yen, still valid level up here. So when the market, we've got a new month as well opening, and I'm going to examine actually very quickly, because this is going to close. We have got momentum candlesticks here, but it's in the wrong direction. If this was in the direction or a breakout of an area, so like breaking out this level, this sort of stick, then I'm going to jump onto a momentum strategy, which if you watch the Bollinger Band, it shows that. I'm looking for very strong candles that close with hardly any wick. You can do the same on the weekly, but it has to be at an area what it's breaking out. And right, this Aussie yen, we've still got the monthly, not much on the weekly to do, nothing we can do until next week till we get direction. The daily's got a nice level for longs, but again I'm looking to short on that higher time frame, so I'm not going to touch that. That's the chart pattern on the Aussie New Zealand. Looking for some kind of confirmation really from this chart pattern. If we come out to this daily, there's a level here, because this is the closed candle right here above this pivot point over here. So this is the area interested. That's why price is bouncing. I see this time and time again. Whether it's going to work doesn't mean it's 100%. Remember, it's 50-50. So what I'm looking for now is the daily to give me some direction, because it's quite nice. All the levels down were very nice. We've not taken out any really close above a pivot point. We started to take it. I think we just started to take it right here. Yep. So it's a bit of indecision. I really need to see a direction change now, because if I drop down, if it's getting a bit scrappy just slightly on the daily, then the 240 is going to be the same. It's more going to be of a little bit of a breakout now. Or if that did close right down here, I'd be looking for a momentum strategy for a breakdown, but and that is not looking the pattern, because we've got too much of a wick here. So I won't be looking at that. There might be some other pairs to have a look in a moment. Aussie and Aussie dollar. This was a level that I tried to take. I've got a weekly level. Actually, no, it's a daily level that I've got to cancel off. I've not been watching this daily level here. Oh no, it is a weekly level, because we've got a little pivot low here. So we closed above this pivot point, a little weekly level here. It could still, because we haven't got no pivot lows here, this could still drop into this area. So this is a valid weekly area with a target up at the extremes. If price pushes into this, again, just a quick dip into some of these levels. This is the strong move down. Broke this. This is why price reacted from here. So I'm expecting it to come a bit deeper. This is looking better, obviously, and then you've got the extreme. My set and forget would probably be up in this area. We're not quite there yet, so I'm not bothered putting one on. Yeah, so I want to set and forget right up here if it gets up there, because of the pivot point. And nothing else to really do. That was a reaction from this. Bang, it didn't kind of take this level out, it continued up to the target. That was another level that showed to work. CAD yen, not much on there. We have got a weekly level up here, so if price rallies into here, nice set and forget for targets down in this area now, so there could be a nice reward to risk there. It is kind of rolling over. We've got rooms that it might want to drop, so pushing up, going against that monthly candlestick as well, which would be a good area to short here. CAD yen still looking to go long. It's bouncing from this daily level. There's a strong move, but did it close above a pivot point? No. But where is it? Right at the extreme. That's why I've got my entry a bit lower and my stop below and target up here, because it is a monthly candlestick. There we go. So there's a target. Nice reward to risk. Swiss yen. Still expecting price to reach this area. Doesn't mean it will, 50-50, but if it is, I'm expecting, then I'm looking for shorts. Now daily, I don't like drawing trend lines as such, but that's the daily move up at the moment. But if we look at the wicks, or not the wicks, sorry, the pivot points down here, I call them wicks and pivot points. We've got one here, we've got one here, but it took it out. I'm not even really interested in relying on this daily at the moment. I'm really going to wait probably to the weekly to give me some direction, and then the profit target might be over, but that's the only thing I can really do. Euro Aussie, nothing there. We've started to break this. If we're going to close, this is going to be the level now, by the way, because this is going to close here below this pivot. So if price rallies, that set and forget's definitely going to be on. It was a weekly. With this pivot, it's got to be cancelled on the weekly, but it's definitely a monthly, so it's transferred from here to this chart, because this is closing below here. So I would love it if the price rallied up there. I'd definitely short. We have got, though it might not rally that high, a weekly level. So this is going to be another short right here. Target would be in this area, because we don't know if it's going to drop. So if I can get up in this area of about 50 odd pips and get a 250 pip reward, that's a 5-to-1. I'll take that. So that's going to be a set and forget there. Also, we have got this level. Now, this is the sort of thing where we might momentum trade here. I was talking about this pattern here, which is I don't normally like leaving these lines on, but this is a channel. But this is the area, if it's going to break strongly and it's just going to ignore this, not bounce, this is where it could go. And if it does, I expect price to move almost, it's like a measured move, 500 odd pips down. it could move from here a good 500 pips down. Okay, I'm relying on this to break and drop. Ideally it'd be nice if that was just beyond this or on it, but here's a not a bad position, even the weekly. And what I use, I can use a 60 or 240. I lean on the 240 on this because I'm looking for the time, the level. So if I enlarge this, I'm looking what time. Now this is London coming into the New York session here. Fantastic level. I'm definitely going to put a momentum short on here. So I will enter if price rallies up here with about a 60 odd pip move going for about 500 pips. Okay. Now think about it this way. Let's come back to the monthly. If it rallies a bit, and if I'm expecting it to drop another 500 pips and I catch the extreme, then you know, I want a target of about 450. Okay, so if I'm trying to measure this candle, 530, let's go for about 450, obviously, because I've got my entry, so I'll be looking somewhere down about here for my target. Okay, price could continue much lower because of this big range. But now we're starting to attack this area. This could well bounce from here and continue higher, but I'm going to try momentum strategy because everybody's doing that, and if it does break, it could even reach as far down as here, but I'll take me 500 odd pips, 450. So I'm going to put an order in on this, and this is his daily, so this is where I'm going to have an order. This is going to be a daily level up here. I'm just showing you on the 240, so that was the not a daily, sorry, a weekly level. So this is a drop base drop here, but I'm using the 240 momentum strategy. If I get stopped out, let's just get this back to the weekly, let's put this back to the 240. If I get stopped out here, then I'll have a set and forget here, and then obviously another one at the extreme. Euro CAD, not much to show there on the higher time frames. Euro Swiss, rolling over, it's reached the target area already, so this level, this order up here is going to be cancelled on the weekly, going for that. If it's like a weekly level trying to go for the monthly target, I'll just cancel that. If it rallies next month, I've got to cancel all this area now. This is all gone because that monthly candle is closing down here, creating this pivot point. So everything I've been waiting to lean on up here is now cancelled. My bias is completely changed at the moment. I've got to wait for direction. I want to close below here next month or up here, okay, or this month now, December. So I won't be trading this really on the monthly till January, possibly February. However, we've got a nice level here on the weekly, so I need to adjust. I can take this one, but I need to adjust the target to here. If it's a 5 to 1, I just want to get this to see 40 pips. It's not. This is going to get cancelled on the reward to risk basis. Simple as that. Let's have a look at the euro pound. Nothing there. Euro yen. It's hit this area and rolled down. I've already had the target on that. Already had that trade weeks and weeks ago. Close. Oh, lovely new level now on the monthly. There we go. Let's just hope price rallies into there. Nice set and forget there. Again, we got a new weekly base drop level. If it starts to rally, it could bounce from here, but I'd wait for confirmation from this level. This is a set and forget. First one. Continuation, drop base drop. So this will be the first one. Hopefully they will pull up, a bit like a momentum trade, but for a bigger move, maybe down like this. But if it pulls up into here, then I probably expect another big candlestick. We've got a nice level here, plus a drop base drop, a continuation. Everything's telling us that this might want to continue lower. Now look at this extreme weekly candle. This is where again, if we lean on the 240, if we think about the monthly, we've got a nice daily level. The weekly, the 240, which is pretty much this whole daily level. Looking at the time, and look at that beautiful 8 o'clock London candle here. So I'm just going to put an order to short this, probably this whole daily level like this. Oh Christ, that's too many pips. Too many pips. Let's have a look at this 240. Yep, I'm probably going to put in somewhere between the daily and the 240, about a 60 or 70 pip risk, looking for another target down in this sort of area. Okay, So if we measure that candlestick here, we're looking 900 odd pips, and I'd like to get in for, you know, even 100 pip risk is more than welcome here, but I'd like to easily take a 60-70 pip risk and go for, bloody hell, yeah, about 900 odd pips. Let's move that down. That's 900. I'll keep it to that solid body candle there because I expect it to reach there at least. So that's my target. Okay, if this rolls, I'm looking for a big momentum move. If it wants to continue down, expecting it not to reach here. Okay, and this will be the level to get in, this daily /240. So that's going to be a shorting opportunity. Got nothing on the monthly, nothing on the weekly. Had a daily level here. Look at this daily level. It reached it, but not my entry because my reward to risk wouldn't be there. I was kind of looking at this as a continuation actually, but that was what I wanted. That's the only bit I wanted to risk. That's going to get cancelled now. Pound yen, nothing. Pound dollar, nothing. And we've got this New Zealand dollar, lovely momentum candle, but again, not against the levels. So that level's gone. Into this fantastic daily level. Let's have a little look. Again, not the best, but we've got a move and then a strong close below this. Set and forget, I'm going to put at the extreme and just want to see what happens in this area. Let's just drop down to the 60. Very, very scrappy, too low. The 240, it already attempted, it's pulled back. Really, that means I've got to lean on the daily. Now, it has actually reached the extreme of this, but can you see it spiked through? It wasn't quite into this level, so I can't even lean on that. I'm going to have to just let this play out a little bit. I want this to push higher now. I'm not interested. Nothing's telling me to that the daily levels or confirmation's even going to work. So I just have to sit on my hands on this one. You know, it's one of those where it's frustrating if it does turn, but I can't really do nothing. So I'm just going to wait. Dollar CAD. This is a bit of a breakout from this area. I've got this level down here still. This is the extreme. Daily level that worked, but it didn't pull back deep enough, so that got cancelled. Now this can continue pushing up. This is the direction. We've got a rally base rally level here on the weekly, but is there any closes above them candles? These wicks? No, so I'm not going to use it. I like to see a close above. The only one I've got is this deep level, and the dollar Swiss. That was the level if it was going to work to continue, if it was a continuation of this. Looking at this monthly though, closing, it looks like it's going to be a base in here for a while, so I would stay away from this at the moment. We've got no direction on the weekly, nothing on the daily. Dollar yen. Where did I have a level? A level right here. See this little pivot? I've got to draw this in. I've got a level to go long here. So you look at the dollars looking stronger, the euro or the other pairs against the dollars looking weaker. This is the big level down here though. Nothing on the weekly, but the daily is starting to get into sync again with this move. So if we zoom out of this, we've had this bit of a range going on here. I can kind of draw this. Can you see where the entry is on that? But we've got to get through this. If it does, if I get in here and it breaks in this direction, then I've got a target up here where the solid body candle is. It's a bit of a chart pattern. Okay, it's like this has been broken. This is now demand level looking good on the right side of the break. Nothing on the weekly, but I don't think this is rally base rally base rally. Could be a base rally. That's all I'm looking at, the pattern. I'm just trying to analyze where the low risk probability is, and it's right now at this daily demand. So I'm hoping it continues to drop. However, I will have to cancel this, and I'll tell you why. We've got this pivot. Didn't even realise. I'm looking at the big, work my way down, right down to, yeah, I've got the green light, and then suddenly, no, we've got a pivot point right here. So this will get cancelled, this dollar yen. It could work, but it's going to get cancelled based on the rules. So that's this weekly market analysis. Obviously, I had a stop out on the Euro Aussie. I'll just come into that very quickly. Was it Euro Aussie? Was it the Euro Aussie? Yeah, I had to stop out there, and also it was the, because I put an entry there at the extreme. It was based on the chart pattern more than anything, and it got stopped out. But let's have a look. What was the other one? I think it was the Euro. What was I looking at? Euro New Zealand, I think it was. Yeah, it was this extreme. It was Euro Aussie, Euro New Zealand. I was kind of trying to look that if it was going to turn here, then I would have had a double trade there. Obviously, it's very strong straight through that area. So that would be, now I've completely changed my bias on the Euro New Zealand. I'm going to try and short the momentum, logically, not emotionally. Safe trading. Give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll make another video next week. Safe trading.